Maybe just ignore it.
Okay. Check on your phone and see if it's recording.
Hey. All right. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Sarah. This is my office. I own Natural Health Improvement Center, South Jersey, and Des Moines. I have 2 offices in 2 states, so I run both of them. I travel back and forth to both. I also have practitioners that I've brought on to help me out. So I've got Laura, and I've got Laura and Abby who are here, and I also have in Des Moines I have Izzy and Katie, and I have other 3 or 4 more practitioners that are coming on by the end of the year. What we do here is called nutrition response testing. So I am a master herbalist, nutrition response testing practitioner, and functional clinical nutritionist. So we do all of those types of things here. Today we're going to be talking about essential oils because there's been a lot of questions about them. I've used essential oils for about 16 years in my own family, and we use them in practice as well. We use a couple different brands. We mostly focus on doTERRA because over the last 16 years, that's the brand that I kind of gravitated towards. I used to own my own product company, so I used to make a whole line of beauty care products and personal care products. I kind of phased out of that because I'm a little bit too busy to make all those things now. But doTERRA was the only line of oils that stayed put, so to speak, in the actual product. So when I would make a lotion, for example, all of the other oils I would use, the scent would be gone in a few weeks. You wouldn't be able to smell it. And so for me, that means that there's no therapeutic value to the actual product if you can't smell the aromatherapy of the oil. So the whole point of essential oils is aromatherapy. Some people use them for internal use, which we're going to talk about, which I don't recommend. And some people use them for topical use, which is fine as long as they're properly diluted. So we're going to talk about that as well. So hopefully you are here because you're curious about essential oils and want to learn a little more about them. So we're going to go through that. I do have some free magazines that Standard Process, our supplement company, provides for us. And there's really good recipes in here and a lot of really good articles. So feel free to take one. These are free and they're really pretty. The pictures are really pretty. So you can feel free to take those. And then I'll be sharing a little bit more information about our office as well as we go through and what we do here. So let's get started. So we have a lot of information to cover about what essential oils are. So essential oils are the volatile or rapidly evaporating aromatic oils provided by plants, and they're produced by the plants. So it takes about 60 whole roses to make 1 drop of precious essential oil. So that's a lot of roses to make 1 single drop, which is why you don't necessarily want to eat a drop of essential oil because that's like eating 60 roses and that's kind of gross. It seems a little expensive too. It takes about 26 cups of peppermint tea to equal 1 drop of peppermint essential oil. This is one of the reasons why I do not recommend ingesting essential oils, because what is the point of taking 1 drop of peppermint essential oil? That's like drinking 26 cups of tea. Who in their right mind is going to drink 26 cups of peppermint tea? It's ridiculous. It's actually bad for you. So traditional herbalists do not believe in ingesting essential oils unless it's for culinary purposes or if they're emulsified in another product. So we don't believe in putting them in water and drinking them. So but we're going to talk about that. Oil and water does not mix. That is something we're going to address a little bit more. But there are no traditional herbalists, aromatherapists, who do believe in ingestion. That's just not something that we believe. The essential oil companies will believe that. They'll tell you they want to sell oils. They'll say, yeah, mix it in everything. You know, drop the On Guard down your throat. You know, put the lavender and the lemon in your water and your grapefruit. It's not healthy for you. I wouldn't eat 10 grapefruits at once. I'm not going to put a drop of essential oil in my product. And I'm going to tell you the differences between what an essential oil is made out of and then what an actual grapefruit is, because there's a difference between the peel and the fruit, and you're not getting the same thing. So people aren't getting what they think they're getting when they're drinking essential oil. So it's really important to understand that's basically a marketing tool. Does it help people with certain things? Yes. And for acute situations, you can mix some oregano oil and something and take it that way. But you don't want to be doing it every single day. And we're going to talk about why. It takes about 75 lemon peels to make 1 15 ml bottle of lemon essential oil. This is a 15 ml bottle of lemon essential oil. It takes 75 lemon peels from 75 lemons. That's a lot. So just think about, if you're using essential oils all the time, just think about how much product you're consuming, how much of that vegetation you're actually consuming in a bottle, and how much it takes to grow all that. So how much water, how much land, how much soil, how much whatever, it's actually becoming a little bit hard on environment to be able to grow these things in the demand they are in now. So the MLM company, doTERRA, is considered a direct sales multi-level marketing company because you have to get it through a distributor. And Young Living and the other ones, while they are really good oils, they are utilizing a lot of resources to be able to grow, to be able to provide to the masses because they're so popular now. One of the companies that we use for our supplements, our herbs that we take, so we do a lot of herbal medicine here, is MediHerb. MediHerb is from Australia. MediHerb has the highest standard known to man as far as their herbal products. They have very strict rules. They're registered with the Medical Association in Australia. It's pretty much top of the line as far as you can't get anything more high quality. doTERRA is kind of like that in how they test all of their essential oils, which is one of the other reasons why I chose them in my final pick of things that I would use in my personal care products that I was making. And with my patients, because they muscle test well, we do muscle testing here to figure things out. And also because of the testing, because they're not adulterated. And I have a problem with products that are adulterated. And they've done a lot of third-party testing across the board, and doTERRA is one of the only lines that didn't come back as adulterated in all the third-party testing, which was good. There are a couple other brands that you can choose from. There's Young Living, there's Plant Therapy. You can get Plant Therapy from Amazon. You just have to make sure that it's distributed by Plant Therapy. You never want to buy an essential oil online that is sold by a person, because what they will do, because essential oils are expensive, is they'll pour out the bottle of essential oil into another bottle, and they'll take 1 or 2 drops and put it back into the original bottle, fill it with a carrier oil, and then reseal it. It's really easy to reseal a bottle. And then they'll sell it as the actual essential oil, but it's actually only 2 drops. They can get 60 or 70 bottles like that, and they can make their own, basically by making their own essential oil line, right? But they're distributing it as, oh, this is Young Living, or oh, this is doTERRA, but it's distributed by, Mom's Pop Shop in Detroit or something like that. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that it's being sold directly by the company. So you can see just by this short list here that it takes a lot of the product to make the final oil. So you want to keep that in mind when you're buying things. That's why rose essential oil, true rose essential oil is so expensive. That's why frankincense is so expensive, because it's so difficult to make and it takes so much to make it. So how are essential oils made? This is an interesting process. Steam distilled means it's captured through vaporization. Examples of a steam distilled essential oil would be lavender, peppermint, and ylang ylang, 3 of my favorites. And cold pressed would be for all the citrus oils. You can't do the steam distillation for the citrus because it's the peels themselves. So you're gonna press them out and extract the oils. It takes a really, really long time. So if you ever seen a essential oil distillery, you can see it sitting there, all these things, and then you're gonna see drip, drip. It takes forever if you're a really patient person to be an essential oil maker, because it's gonna take forever. It's not a fast process. Solvent extracted. This is what they use for the more delicate plants. Some solvents are toxic, so you have to be really careful. This is where quality comes into play. Some are not toxic, so you want to look for brands that don't use toxic solvents. The oils are not recommended for therapeutic use. These are more for scent. So the vanilla, the rose, the jasmine, these aren't going to be really for therapeutic benefit. These are going to be if you're going to make perfumes. If you're going to make your personal care perfumes or lotions, it's not for therapeutic use because it's going to use a solvent. So you're going to have that solvent mixed in. So this is just a basic picture. I don't expect you to be able to read the words, but Mountain Rose Herbs is another herbal company where I get a lot of my dry herbs to make all teas and things, but you can also get essential oils from them too. But you can see what it looks like, the different ways to make an essential oil. You can see the steam goes through, and it steams through the herb. The vaporized oil goes up. You've got the cold water coming down. It condenses into a hydrosol, and sometimes you can get a hydrosol. Anyone heard of a hydrosol? It's like a spray, an essential oil spray, but it's made of the hydrosol portion of the essential oil process. And they're actually really nice, and they're aromatic, they're therapeutic, they're not as strong and concentrated, but they make a really nice room spray or a linen spray, personal perfume. And then if you let it go from a hydrosol form into essential oil form, you have the final product, and then you have what ends up in these bottles, which is kind of cool. So that is the process. So there's a lot of different distilleries in the world who make these, and this is just the basic kind of crude way of doing it, so you can see. So quality. You want to look for pure aromatic plant oils without dilutants. look for the Latin name of the plant on the label. It's important because you can get something, and if you don't know the Latin name, you can get a completely different species of something, and you can get an essential oil out of it, but it's not going to be the same quality, and if you're using it for therapeutic benefits, it's not going to be the same. So you have to look up the Latin name. Just do a quick internet search for the Latin name of what you're looking for, and make sure that the Latin name is on the label of the bottle. So for example, this one is lemon, it's citrus limon. And then we've got, let's see, we've got it here. Let's see if I can find it. Here's the Terra Shield, the bug blend. On the back, all the Latin names are listed on the ingredients. So, you know, you got them all. So lemon is going to be lemon with lemon, but you got your Lavandula augustifolia. That is your lavender. That is the right name. There are a million different forms of lavender. You know, there's French lavender, there's German lavender, all these different kinds of lavender. This is a specific type of lavender used for therapeutic purposes. So that's why this is the specific one. So you can go through and see all the different essential oils have the Latin names listed for most of the essential oil companies. So look for that. Do not buy, we talked about this, do not buy oils from Amazon unless are being fulfilled directly by the company they are coming from. Do not buy oils that say fragrance oils on the label. These are not essential oils and they are made synthetically. Anything with the word fragrance on the bottle is a synthetic, and fragrance is covered by trade secret laws. So it can be any fragrance or combination of fragrance. It could be thousands of different type of combinations, and they don't have to put them on the label because it's their proprietary blend or their trade secret. But just know that fragrance is not natural. It's not an essential oil, it's a chemical. So if you look on your shampoo bottles and it says, you know, your shampoo says it's vegan and all natural, and you look and it says fragrance, then the fragrance they use is a chemical compound of something in a lab, made in a lab. So you want to kind of avoid that. Therapeutic grade is simply a marketing term. It means nothing other than it's therapeutic grade. Okay, great. It's just a marketing term to sell oils, basically. There are more than 2 reputable essential oil companies. So people say, oh, the only 2 on the planet that you should buy from are doTERRA and Young Living. That's not true. There are other companies that you can get them from. You just have to know that they might not be as high quality, but they're very similar. So, but the MLM or the marketing people will say, oh, it's only those 2. But you can get other ones like Plant Therapy, Rocky Mountain Oils, Native American. There's other oils that you can get that are very comparable and at different price points. But like I said, as far as long-lasting aromatherapy, doTERRA is my top pick. Essential oil safety. Are essential oils safe? Well, there's 2 answers, yes and no. We like to say that less is best and use with care. So these oils are highly concentrated and they enter through the olfactory system and the skin. So they're mainly used for aromatherapy. This leads directly to the brain and the bloodstream and allows the plant properties to cause therapeutic changes both emotionally and physiologically within our bodies. Hello, coming in and find a seat. I'll give you a handout. There you go. So this is the one point that I like to drive home when I'm getting you thinking about not drinking the essential oils, is essential oils have to be detoxed by the liver and the kidneys. A lot of essential oils are what we call hot oils. So in traditional herbalism, we know that there are some herbs that cause your body to be cooling. They're cooling to your body or they're warming to your body, and we don't want to heat up the body too much on a consistent basis. So something like a peppermint oil or a clove oil or oregano oil, they're hot, right? So if you're ingesting them on a daily basis, then it's going to actually cause heat in your organs and your body has to spend more time detoxing. So even using larger amounts of safe essential oils can be harmful to certain populations like children, people with compromised liver or kidney health, animals, and pregnant women. We highly recommend seeking the guidance of a qualified healthcare practitioner in these cases. This is not a doctor. A doctor does not know anything about essential oils or nutrition. I always tell people that my nutrition practitioner and I have a combined education of over 20 years in nutrition. Your doctor has a combined 1 doctor of 0 years in nutrition. Medical doctors do not have any education in nutrition whatsoever. I have medical doctors who come to me to see me who have told me this and confirmed this with me and said, I didn't get any education in nutrition at all. And they ask us as practitioners where they can go to get more education on nutrition. It's a shame because some of them are awesome and they want to know more, That's why they're looking more into the functional medicine route. They want to learn about herbs and essential oils and homeopathics and those types of things. But they're not given that opportunity because Big Pharma is what runs the medical schools now, and they don't want people to know about essential oils. A lot of hospitals do allow essential oils now. If you go on PubMed, which is the journal, a lot of journals are free, you can access free journal articles there. There are essential oil studies on Guard and On Guard and oregano oil and different oils that you can look up, and you can see the therapeutic benefits and how they've helped in hospitals and how they help with certain things. So that is good. A lot of hospice care, nursing homes are also allowing essential oils in because they know how beneficial it is to the patients. It helps the patients to sleep. It helps them with their immune system. So if they know that for a fact that Melaleuca tea tree oil helps to prevent staph infections and also can kill MRSA, and there's clinical studies that have been done on that. On Guard is helpful in hospitals because it's such a sterile environment that we have superbugs that are coming about, antibiotic resistant things, and the On Guard and oregano and tea tree oil are really beneficial in these environments because that can actually override the antibiotic resistance of things and kill things. So we're seeing good things, yes.
When you say therapeutic, is it aerosolized? Is it for aroma, or is it for actual, like, on the skin? Do you do
They
different
use
things?
it for, in hospitals, they're using it for aromatherapy.
Okay.
Yeah, most of the time we're using essential oils for aromatherapy. Sometimes we're using it in a cream or something for therapeutic or topically for antifungal or something like that. But essential oils are mostly for aromatherapy. That's the best way to distribute it throughout the whole body in the correct way. There are some topical uses, and we're going to talk about how to dilute them as well. So diluting. Using essential oils topically can be wonderfully healing. So you can do aromatherapy like we talked about, or also topically. We did it in creams and lotions and salves. I don't have any batches made, but I used to make a really popular pain salve, 2 kinds, and a healing salve. So I used to make one that was like a bug balm, miracle balm. Anytime you got a cut, a scrape, a bug bite, or anything like that, you could just rub it on and it would help facilitate healing. And that had a bunch of essential oils in it, had lavender in it, and then a pain salve that had like basil and it had, what else? It had peppermint, eucalyptus, all the warming oils. So it was almost like an icy hot but with essential oils. And that was super popular. And that really benefited pain. You should always dilute essential oils with a carrier oil. Now, a carrier oil is any oil such as olive oil, coconut, almond oil, jojoba, any type of another oil. You don't want to use vegetable oil or canola or those types of things because they're usually rancid and they don't make very good carrier oils. So you want to use a better quality oil like an olive oil or coconut. Always avoid mucous membranes like the eyes and the mouth unless you're under the care of a practitioner. These oils can be very caustic and cause serious chemical burns. Poison control gets a lot of calls because a lot of essential oil usage has gone up, I think, 400% in the last 10 years, maybe more. And a lot of it is because people have put oregano oil straight on their skin because it burns. Lemon oil, if you put a drop of lemon oil on styrofoam, it burns a hole in the styrofoam. That's one of the reasons why we don't like to put the essential oils in their water and drink it because your skin lining of your esophagus is going to be a lot weaker than a styrofoam plate, right? It's very thin. So the mucous membranes are going to get stripped and damaged, and you don't know the damage. And this is the first generation using them in this way, so we don't know what the damage is. So when people kind of readily swallow the essential oils, I'm like, you might want to not do that because you're basically a guinea pig and an experiment on yourself. So, and I'm not okay with that, especially for my kids. We don't know what the long-term effects are. So you want to research the oil's properties before use to make sure it isn't contraindicated for your health. Are you on medications that it could be contraindicated on? Maybe it's strong, high amounts because it's very high amounts. Or are you pregnant or have small children in your home or pets? There are some essential oils specifically that are very toxic to cats, but they're okay for dogs. So you just have to be careful with that. I have a lot of cats because I have a rescue at my house and I've got a little farm. And lemon oil is one of the things I was diffusing a lot. And a couple of my cats were very, very lethargic for a few days. And I kind of linked it to there was too much essential oil going on in the house at once. The windows weren't open and they were having an effect from it. The citrus oils are a little bit on the toxic side to them in high amounts. You can get around that if you do lower amounts. We're going to talk about how much to put in a diffuser in a couple of minutes. So for the dilutions, a 1% dilution is a good rule of thumb for a preparation if you're going to do massage oil, where a lot of the product is being used on the skin. So if you're making a massage lotion or massage oil, you're gonna, you wanna put a couple of your favorite essential oils into some coconut oil and use that for massage, then you're gonna do 1%, which would be 5 to 6 drops per ounce. That's a good rule of thumb for that. So there's different dilutions for different preparations. So a 2% dilution, which is 10 to 12 drops per ounce, of a carrier, is appropriate for aromatherapy applications and body care recipes. So if you're just gonna make a little cream, like a face cream, or you're gonna make a body cream or lotion, that would be 10 to 12 drops, because you want a little bit more of the aroma for that as well. And it's not gonna be you're not massaging into the body. For diffusing, so I don't know if I talk about that. Hold on, let's just say. Yeah, so for diffusing, just put 1 to 2 drops of each oil into the, if you have a diffuser, just put 1 to 2 drops in. Less is more, especially if it's the hot oil. So if it's peppermint or rosemary or eucalyptus, and if you're around young children, you definitely want to only put about 1 drop of those hot oils in there. It can mess with the mucous membrane of small children, bless you. Under the age of 2, it's not recommended to diffuse oils like rosemary, peppermint, and eucalyptus because of the developing respiratory systems that they have. It can cause slowing of the breathing, and so you want to be careful. There's been some newer studies in the last 3 years that have said that could be a problem with little ones. So the older kids, it's a little bit easier for them to handle. So if you do diffuse them and you have babies in the house, just do a little bit and make sure that it's not in a small enclosed room. It's in a large area and only 1 to 2 drops of the oil in there. People have been using these essential oils for years and years and years and not had an issue. But recently, because of the, I don't want to say overuse because it's not a bad thing if people are using them, but using them more, there's been a little bit more research being done on the safety around kids, because a lot of moms are doing this as a business and they're using it around their little ones. So we want to be more careful with those hot oils, the methylated oils. All right, so over. Moving into internal usage of essential oils, there's so much misinformation out there about whether they should be used internally. Along with the international aromatherapy community, we say that you should never use essential oils internally without the guidance of a qualified healthcare professional, because there are some instances where you might want to. For example, if someone has cancer, there are some usages that you can use frankincense essential oil and some other essential oils with, and use them on the roof of your mouth, or use it in a preparation internally, put them in a capsule if you have certain conditions. But it's short term, it's not long term, and you're not swallowing them directly into your throat. So there's ways to do it properly as a medicine, as a strong medicine, if you're trying to get rid of something that's really acute and intense. While there are some essential oils that can be used safely, this is the safer path to take, especially without skilled supervision. Essential oils can be incredibly caustic. Like we said, it can go through a styrofoam container, causing burns or irritating the mucous lining of your digestive tract. Oil and water doesn't mix. Lemon oil in drinking water or peppermint oil to make tea, no. I always say, why not use a squeeze of fresh lemon juice instead, or make a cup of peppermint tea with nature's perfect dosage of aromatics. So lemon essential oil not only eats through styrofoam, it eats through rubber. 1 cup of peppermint tea can be a strong remedy by itself. So my kids, I wouldn't put peppermint oil in a glass of hot water. I would make peppermint tea with the herb, the actual tea leaves, peppermint tea. That's what I would do for my kids, and I have done with my kids. Plant medicine is already very effective when used as gentle support for your body's natural healing processes, and more and stronger is not always better or more helpful. People think, oh, more is going to be better, stronger is better. Not when it comes to plants, not always. Remember, as we mentioned before, these aromatics must be detoxed by the liver and the kidneys, and it puts a lot more strain on those organs. So if you're already having detox issues, if you have skin issues, if you have problems going to the bathroom, if you have any kind of liver and detox kidney issue, this is going to make it worse, not better, because it has to work really hard to be able to detox it. If you're looking for something that's a bit more potent than teas or tinctures, or than tea, tinctures are a great option. So we use a lot of herbal tinctures, which would be if you went to, for example, if you went to Whole Foods and you went to the herb section and you have all those, they're usually the brown bottles with the orange labels, like Herb Farm, you'll see them little tinctures with the droppers. That's a tincture. It's an alcohol extraction of an herbal medicine. So it's pretty strong, but not as strong as an essential oil. So strength-wise, it would be tea, tincture, essential oil as far as strength, as far as that goes. So how a tincture is made is, and I make tinctures at my home, is you take some of the dry herb or the fresh herb and you put it into a jar and you pour either grain alcohol or vodka over it, or sometimes you could do bourbon or other alcohols depending on what you're making. And you put it in and you let it steep in there for about 6 weeks. You shake it up every day or two, so you keep it out. And that extracts all the medicinal properties from the plants. And when the 6 weeks is up, you strain it out and you put it into a medicine bottle, and then you dose it out for whatever you guys are using it for. So you can do this with anything from peppermint to nettle to yarrow to any other herb that you're using. You can make a tincture out of it. So it's really, really simple to make your own medicine. We actually do teach a class on that. We usually teach that in the fall. So my top 5 essential oils for health and home, my favorites that I use quite often would be lemon. Lemon is one of my favorite because I can use it to clean the house with. I usually mix it into a spray bottle and we just, with water, and we just kind of shake it up because obviously it separates. You shake it up and you can spray it. You can mix it with a little bit of vinegar, so you can have vinegar and lemon in there, and you can use it as a disinfectant for your house. It helps freshen. You can put a couple of drops in your laundry, or you can put lavender in your laundry, a couple of drops in there. You can get wool dryer balls if you want to and put the essential oils on those, and it makes your laundry smell good. Some of the most toxic products on the planet are laundry products. Your laundry detergent, your the fabric softeners, the dryer sheets, super, super toxic. So if you can do it a better way by using the wool balls instead, you just put those in and they're reusable. They're a little bit more money in the beginning than you would pay for a pack of dryer sheets, but they last you a long, long time. I've had mine for years. And then every once in a while I'll put a little bit of essential oil on them, and it makes everything smell really nice in the laundry. So lemon is my favorite for cleansing, detoxing, freshening, and energizing and sanitizing my house. Lavender is calming, cooling, freshens, and it relaxes. A lot of people like to use this for a linen spray or spray in their room at night or their children's rooms. It's safe to use around animals, so you can use it for all sorts of things. It's helpful in the laundry as well. Tea tree oil is one of my favorites. This is the one whenever I visit anyone in the hospital, I dilute it in a carrier oil. I put a little bit on the Q-tip and I put it on the inside, swab the inside of my nose. Because staph colonizes in the nose. So if you put it there, then you won't breathe the staph up your nose, and you can prevent any kind of staph infections or bacterial infections from the hospital. Even though they sanitize, it's still not that great. So I will do that. I use tea tree oil. My kids know I have a roller ball like this that has tea tree oil in it. I have one in pretty much every room in my house, in the bathrooms, in the car, everywhere. Anytime my kids get a bug bite or a scrape, or the cat scratches them or something happens, they automatically go and find the tea tree oil and they put it on that cup. Yes?
What carrier oil do you use for that?
I use fractionated coconut oil, which is the coconut oil that's just liquid form. They take out the solids.
And then you do how many drops per ounce?
For the oil, I would probably do the 1% dilution.
5 to 6 drops.
Yeah, 5 to 6 drops in an ounce. Yeah. Tea tree oil, tea tree oil and lavender oil technically are the only 2 oils that can be put on straight, but I don't like to because they are still pretty strong. If something is really, like if I get something burns me, like I get burned in the kitchen and I don't have a carrier oil available to me really quickly, sometimes I'll put the lavender directly on and then just dab it off. If you ever get essential oils in your eyes because they're in oil, you can't get it out with water. I've had to teach my kids this because we have essential oils around all the time, especially when I had my own product company. We had them everywhere. Is if you ever rub your eyes and get it in your eyes, just make sure that you use like a gentle soap or use an oil. Like take coconut oil and massage around, and that will actually pull it away because of the oil. If you try to do water, it makes it worse. It burns. I don't recommend. A lot of people put peppermint oil by their temples. The problem is it's so close to the eyes. Peppermint's great for headaches, but I can't tell you how many patients of mine say, I had a headache and guess what happened? I'm like, you got it in your eye. Like the peppermint, just because you forget and you scratch, you do this with your hair, and all of a sudden you rub your eye, and all of a sudden you have peppermint in your eyes. I've done it. It's the worst feeling ever because you literally feel like your eyeball's on fire. So don't recommend that. You can do other things. You can put it on a tissue. Put a little bit of essential oil on a tissue and breathe it in. instead of putting it on your body. For Mercury retrograde, I made my staff and I last year a set of essential oil blends specifically for calming and during Mercury retrograde when everything's going haywire and all the computers are breaking and copy machines breaking and all that, and the computers are. I said we should drop it on the computer screens and help us not have that problem. But it smelled really nice. It had frankincense in it, it had a couple other oils in it. But we just put a little bit. It had coconut oil in it, and we put a little bit on our wrists, and we kind of just went about our day. There's another one. There's another essential oil that I really like from doTERRA. Well, two. One's Balance. It's a balancing blend, and one is called Serenity. Those mixed together, I made a blend that was called Xanacom. It was like Xanax in a bottle, essential oil wise. And I would give it to people, and they would just put it, and it would calm them and the people around them. It's aromatherapy. So it's kind of like, okay, if you can't get your best friend who's a spaz to use essential oils, you use them and just be around them, they'll breathe it in and they'll feel better, right? Or invite them over and have the aromas that you want. So look up the ones that help, type A spazzes, and then put it on and make her a nice cup of herbal tea along with diffusing essential oils, and you have a really nice afternoon with your friend. So that's my favorite thing to do. So peppermint is also wonderful for cooling. It helps with digestion. If you put it in a carrier oil, you can actually just put a little bit on your stomach or your digestive points, which are right here. So if you find where it's called a xiphoid process, where the V is here, you find that and go about an inch down, and there's two little points on either side. Those are your digestive points. There's two little divots. Sometimes they hurt if you push on them. If you put a little bit of the essential oil there, that can be helpful. Ginger is also one that can help as well with that. So for digestion, you can drink peppermint tea and then use the peppermint oil on your digestive points or on your abdomen. Frankincense is really good for brain support, immune support, mood enhancing, and skin care. Again, we're using this as aromatherapy. Has a little bit of a distinct scent. I'll let you smell it. I have a roller ball of it. You guys can smell things, but it's very earthy. A lot of people don't like it. So a lot of times we'll mix it with something else. We'll mix it with lemon, we'll mix it with something, and that smells better because it has a little bit of an acidic smell to it. So those are some of my favorite ones. The ones we are giving away tonight are actually the bug blend because the bugs are crazy. So we'll talk about that and why that works. So I included some of my favorite recipes from some of my favorite bloggers on how to make your own. So if you have your own essential oils, and you can go on Amazon and get the other supplies as far as the glass bottles and those types of things, or you can go to the container store, or sometimes even Moms and Whole Foods have the little bottles that you can, empty bottles you can get, so you don't have to go crazy. You're gonna have to hit a liquor store because you're gonna need vodka for a lot of these. So I remember when I was almost 9 months pregnant, this was 7 years ago, with my 7-year-old, I went to the liquor store in Mount Laurel and I was like out here, and I bought 2 of the really huge gallons of Everclear. The lady took a look at me and she's like, "What are you doing? I'm not living out here." I said, "I make medicine." She's like, "Sure." I'm like, "No, really, I do." So yeah, that was my claim to fame at that liquor store.
Excuse me,
So,
the
yes.
papers with your recipes, do you have
Yes.
them up
Yeah.
front?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to pass this pack back, and whoever did get it back there. Yeah. So this one is. This is the lavender linen spray. It got separated on this one page. The lavender linen spray is really nice. You can do it with witch hazel or vodka. So if you'd rather do it with witch hazel, some people don't like the smell of witch hazel and they prefer the vodka because vodka is pretty neutral smelling. Witch hazel is very distinct, so it's a little bit more noticeable. You put it in with 10 drops of lavender essential oil, a little bit of water. Hi, come on in.
Sorry, I had the wrong time.
That's okay.
I waited all weekend for this class.
That's okay. Come on in. Well, you'll have the handout with all the slides on it. So
That's good.
You'll
I
be
was gonna say,
fine.
that's all right, I had the wrong day, I was here last Thursday.
Really? Here you go. Here's the packet for you. You're welcome. Make yourself comfortable.
I don't know why. Just getting too excited.
So, here. All right. So really, really easy. It literally takes only less than 5 minutes. Once you have your ingredients assembled, it takes 5 minutes to mix everything up. This is fun because you can make them as gifts. So every year we would do homemade gifts for as many people in our family as we could, and we would do things that we could make in bulk like this, because it doesn't cost you very much. It's really, especially on Amazon now, it's really cheap to get the bottles and things that you need, and all the, even the labels and all that stuff. So don't be afraid of this, because it's super, super simple. There is a lot of mold and mildew around, especially this year. If you've noticed, it's been a little more wet than usual. So we've had a lot of issues with the dampness. So the mold and mildew spray is really effective. You use distilled water, you use vodka, you use tea tree oil, eucalyptus, and lavender. And this will help to kill the mold in the area. Clove oil is also really good for killing mold. You can throw some lemon in there as well. You have to be careful if you're putting lemon oil on your anything that's painted. You have to be careful anyway with essential oils, because it will eat through your paint. So do a patch test in the corner where no one sees first to make sure, because it can mess up your paint. There is a really good stress reducing solution. Takes about 5 minutes to make, with lavender, bergamot, frankincense, and myrrh. Some of my favorites. Some of the biblical oils are in there, the frankincense and myrrh. They're amazing. Myrrh is really good along with clove if you have any type of a tooth infection. You can make a mouthwash out of it, make a mouth rinse out of it, just by putting a drop or two in some in a carrier oil and swishing the oil in your mouth for a few minutes and then spitting it out. You don't want to swallow it, you're going to spit it out. That will kill any bacteria and microorganisms in your mouth. Really good for your gums. But you don't want to do more than a drop of each, because that's way too strong. So this one you would just put into, you would mix it up, and then if you're taking a bath and you want to take a nice therapeutic bath, what you do is you take your Epsom salts, and if you're going to do Epsom salts and baking sodas for like a cleansing bath, make sure you're mixing your essential oil blend in the salts, mix it up so it emulsifies it, and then pour that into your bath. If you just pour direct essential oils directly in the bath, what happens? They go to the top, right? And then you get in, and one part of your body is going to get that therapy really strong, and the rest of you doesn't. So you want to make sure it's all mixed in. My kids take their aromatic baths all the time with essential oils mixed with an Epsom salt. For Christmas last year, I made 4 different bath salts, and I got these little long beaker tubes that you get for science experiments with the corks on them, and they were so pretty because I made different kinds. I made a rose one, a lemon one, and 2 other ones. One was more of a man scent, so it had like cedar wood and sage and those types of things, with some ground up sage leaves, which was really nice. And I made 4 different kinds, and they were mixed with essential oils, all mixed up in the little beakers, and that was my Christmas present. I put them in a little linen bag with a little bow, and they were a huge hit. Everyone loved them. It's so cheap because it's a little bit. It's really one bath for one bath, and I made tons of it, and I made tons of them. I think I made 30 or 40 of them. It was so easy and cheap because the salt was cheap. So that's a super easy fun, and my kids helped. It was really fun for them too. They got to do it. Nobody broke any beakers on my countertops. So sleep aid. So anyone have trouble sleeping? Sleeping is a huge issue. Yeah. So this is really nice. You can make this into a blend for a diffuser, or you could also mix it with a carrier oil and make it into some type of a balm, or you can put it in a roller ball. So you can actually make your own. You can buy clear roller, brown, clear, or blue roller balls like this, and you can make your own. So you just put a few drops in, with the oils, put the carrier oil in, put the lid back on, and you have your own, put a label on it, and you can make your own little blends, whatever you like. That's why I like the single oils that we use, because then you can just make whatever you want out of it, whatever blend. You can buy a really inexpensive essential oil book off of Amazon of making your own blends. There's DIY essential oil blends. You can make whatever you want, whatever blend. The books will tell you, there's some resources back here, they'll tell you how much of everything to put in, and you can make your own. If you have friends who have issues, any kind of health issues that you're trying to help with them, look it up and then mix their specific blend. You don't have to buy one that's pre-made. So, yes?
20 of each thing?
Yeah, so this is gonna be if you're gonna make about a 15 ml bottle out of it. So it's gonna be 20 drops of each in a bottle that you're gonna be your blend, and then you're gonna put a couple of drops in your diffuser. So that's like the master blend. And and this is gonna be what you're gonna drop into your diffuser. So it's 20 drops of each of the essential oils in a mix, like into here, and then you're going to put a couple of drops into your diffuser. This says 10 drops, but I feel like that's a lot. I don't ever put that many. For this blend, I would probably put maybe 3 or 4, depending on how big the room is and depending on if the door is gonna be closed or not. Yes.
That's made into spray. Spray on the pillow.
Yeah.
Or would that be too strong?
You can make that into a spray. What you would do is you would make the blend and then you would put about 10 drops or 10 to 20 drops into like a 4-ounce mister bottle with some witch hazel or vodka, and you can make that into a spray. Yeah, so you could go back into the linen spray. And yeah, that's on. You can go back to the linen spray recipe and you can use any essential oil with that, or you can even make a blend. Yeah, so. All right. Cramp prevention. So if you're having any issues with cramps of any kind, muscle cramps or period cramps or anything like that, you can do marjoram, lavender, and clary sage. Mix it all together. You can also make a PMS blend if that's an issue. If you have any teens in your life, or if you're having cramps yourself, PMS issues. Mandarin oil, lavender, geranium, and rose. And you mix those all together and you massage. A lot of people will actually massage it into the abdominal area where the uterus and the ovaries are. Geranium chamomile spritz. Again, you can use any combination. If you like certain scents and you want to make them into a spritz, you can make them into a spritz. So, and then my favorite would be the Bright Spirit Citrus Blend, especially in the winter. We use a lot of citrus blends for seasonal affective disorder and depression, seasonal depression type things. The citrus oils are very uplifting, so everyone loves those. So if you come to my house in the winter, you usually will smell citrus, because that's what I really like. Just not around the cats. They don't like it. So this would be 20 drops of bergamot, which is one of my favorites, some lime, and lavender. And you would make this into a spritz, or you can also make it into a diffuser blend. Make it and put into a lotion. There's everything you can mix and match these things. You can put into your favorite lotion. You can get an unscented lotion, something that doesn't have a scent, and you can mix essential oils into the bottle and make yourself your own scented lotion. So you might not want to take the time to learn how to make a lotion, because it's kind of a pain in the neck to make a lotion, a real lotion. But you can always buy your favorite non-toxic chemical-free lotion and add some essential oils in and just have your favorite. You can even make your own. You can even get it in bulk and then have smaller bottles and then make that for Christmas. See, I made you some lotion, right? Whatever works, whatever's easiest for you. So we want you to be using it. A cough blend. This is what you would put into a diffuser to help if you are having a cold or a cough. You would do 36 drops of eucalyptus. Again, you don't want to use this with kids under the age of 2. You would use cedarwood, pine, and myrtle. Some of them are not available in all of the brands, so you could always just mix and match and use. You could use like fir instead of myrtle if you didn't have fir. Like there's different mix and matches that you can use. There's a lot of information on essential oils from aromaweb.com. There's a bunch of books that I listed that you can get on Amazon. There's a doTERRA website there, and then there's a bunch of essential oil supplies you can get at River Tree Life. They have even personal little inhalers that you can make. So if you're in the airplane and you don't really like what's happening around you as far as all the sneezing and the coughing, you can have your own little personal inhaler where you just take the lid off and you just kind of smell it, and no one else is going to smell it, because people frown on that in airplanes. I've been there, done that with somebody in the same aisle as me. They whipped out their little bitty personal diffuser and started diffusing essential oil on the airplane. The flight attendant politely came over and said, "You can't do that here." And she's like, "It's essential oil." I was like, "I don't care. The entire plane can smell it now." Like, people have allergies to essential oils too, so you have to be really careful. We used to diffuse essential oils all the time here, but we have some people in our practice they're actually sensitive to those too. So we stopped. We do it every once in a while, but we don't really do it much anymore, just because you never know. Because it's still a fragrance, it's still a strong, a medicine, and some people just can't stand the sense of it. So we try to be conscientious of that. So what we have here is what we're going to give away. Is we have We have TerraShield. We have them, some of them are already in the spray bottles and some of them are in the concentrate. So what you do if you get a concentrate, it's really easy. It's already mixed with coconut oil, so you can put it directly on your skin if you want to. But this will make about 4 to 6 bottles of 4 ounces worth of bug spray. So you can put about 40 to 60 drops into a 4 ounce spray mister bottle, and it'll make 4 to 6 bottles depending on if you do 40 or 60 drops. You can mix it with water only, or you can mix it with water, witch hazel, and a carrier oil. It's more, that would be more of a, almost like you would spray it and rub it in. It's more like a lotion and it stays longer. It's more effective. Or if you do it just with water and you're just outside in the garden and you spray it, this is really effective. What I like to do to prevent ticks a little bit more strongly is I add a little bit of geranium to the mix, and that helps the ticks don't like it, and you can pull your socks up and put it around your socks, around your ankle, and handle that. We're finding, we test for things like Lyme bacteria in the office, and we're finding a lot of ticks are carrying Lyme that didn't previously carry Lyme, like Lone Star ticks. People have been bringing in test results from them saying, okay, I got bit by a Lone Star tick, and now I have Lyme. And they're saying, oh, now the Lone Star tick, the one with the dots on their back, are causing Lyme too. So it's not the little deer ticks only anymore. They've been saying mosquitoes. So you really want to do your due diligence and not get eaten alive out there, because anything and anything can cause anything. So we don't even know it could be gnats, it could be mosquitoes, all of these things. People are coming in with Lyme disease and who have never been, they said they've never been bitten by a tick. They remember, I had Lyme disease. It was one of my main things that I was fixed from. It's not fun. I couldn't eat any sugar for 2 years, not even fruit, because it was so bad. So these are the types of things that I don't ever remember getting bitten by that type of tick. I got bitten by ticks, but not that type, the little tiny one. But you would never even know sometimes, because it looks like a freckle, right?
Yeah, because most people associate the red bullseye and you don't
Yeah,
always get
you
that.
don't get them, yeah. Most people aren't getting that.
Yep.
They're getting a random rash maybe somewhere that doesn't look like that, and they don't associate it. There's no association. But the symptoms are, what they're doing now is they're treating the symptoms. People are coming in with the symptoms of their Lyme symptoms. So you must have gotten bitten by something at some point, and now you're having the symptoms. But unfortunately, prevention is the best with Lyme, because once you get it, it's really hard to get rid of, and antibiotics never get rid of it completely. It just pushes it down to the body. So the TerraShield is really good. If you're looking for an essential oil-based yard spray, because it would be really expensive for you to try to spray this around your yard, right? Wondercide is a really good essential oil-based yard spray and pet spray. So if you don't want to make your own, which you could, you would take a lot of essential oils. It's Wonder and then CIDE. So we've been using that for our pets and our dogs in our yard rather, and that helps keep the fleas, the ticks, the mosquitoes, all those things down in the yard. And it doesn't harm them, it doesn't harm you, it's not toxic. So that's another way they use essential oils that's beneficial for everybody and not hurting the environment. So a lot of those sprays, the pesticides, they're killing all the good bugs too. So this is more for the harmful bugs, and it doesn't mess with the environment of the soil and all of that. That's nice. So we have the concentrates that we're going to be giving you guys, or the concentrates, and then the one that's already mixed in the spray. So whoever gets what, it's kind of like a free-for-all. I'm going to be passing them out in no particular order for my own sanity. So you get what you get and you don't get upset, right? So you can they're both the same, they're just packaged differently. And then another one I recommend, so if you said, okay, which ones do you recommend having? I definitely recommend, you don't have to, frankincense is kind of optional because it's really therapeutic, but the other 4, the lemon, the lavender, the melaleuca, and peppermint, those are my top 4 to have always on hand in your house, because there's so many different uses. So if you have spiders in your house, ants, peppermint, the bugs hate it, so you can put the peppermint oil around the baseboards, you can put it in a spray. My 13-year-old daughter doesn't like spiders at all, so I'm making her a spray so she can put in her room, because she ends up on the couch because there's a spider in her room. So we're going to do that, and then ants and those types of things. So there's ways for pest management, all these things in your home that you would think you have to use an insecticide for or pesticide for, you can just use an essential oil for it, which is nice. And the lavender is really good to keep in the kitchen if you get burned. So they're really, really good for burns. You won't even have a scar. It's great. Yeah, curling iron burns, all these things. It's great. Just put a little bit on there. daughter was making dinner the other night for us, my 18-year-old, she was making dinner, and she burned herself on getting something out of the oven, and I came home and her hand was under the water. Well, that doesn't really help, you know, so it burned, she's like, oh, this really hurts, you know. And I said, pat that dry, and I grabbed the lavender, and I put the lavender on it. She's like, it stings. I'm like, just give it a minute, it's gonna be fine. And then, and she doesn't even have a blister or anything. So
So that's better than aloe vera, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do for the summertime is I take the 4-ounce mister, spray bottle with the mister top, and I will mix some witch hazel, aloe vera, and lavender and peppermint together in a spray bottle, and that's our after Sun Sprite. The kids go to the beach and they get a little bit of sun, then I spray that on. It's very cooling. You don't even have to use the other ingredients if you just want to use water and lavender and the peppermint oil. It won't last very long. You can't use it for more than one season because it'll go bad. But you can just use it with water. Like I said, always shake it up because it's not going to emulsify. So it's lavender. People always ask me how much. I'm like, okay, well, usually 12 to 24 drops of the lavender and about 12 drops of the peppermint. You don't want to go too strong in the peppermint because it can burn. So you do a little bit less of the peppermint if you're going to do more of the lavender. So 12 to 24 drops of the lavender, depending on how you want the smell, and then about 12 drops of the peppermint in 4 ounces of a liquid. And then that goes in my beach bag. I do that in my beach bag, and my kids ask for it. My 16-year-old son asked me the other day, Mom, where's the Sun Sprite? He was outside at the lake and he had a little bit of red on his nose. So again, be careful if you're spraying. My kids, it's so mild at that point because it's diluted so much that I would just have them close their eyes, and it's a fine mist, and I would say close your eyes and don't breathe, and I would spray them, and I would say count to 10, and then they would open their eyes and be fine, and then it wouldn't burn or anything because it's such a fine mist and it's such it's so diluted, and you couldn't do that with a straight peppermint. It would burn them. Another thing,
Anything to recommend for blisters, if you wear new shoes and you get blisters?
I like to do the tea tree oil on those mixed with coconut oil because sometimes it'll get infected. You get like cellulitis or bacteria, and that's very antibacterial. So it helps to heal the area. Lavender is very healing to the area too, so I'll mix lavender and the tea tree oil together to help with that. I was going to say something else about the bug spray. Oh, for fever. So if your child has a fever, you have a fever, you can diffuse lemon essential oil, or you can put a little bit of lemon essential oil in a carrier oil and rub it on the bottom of the beads and socks on, and that helps to draw the fever out. Alternatively, you could just use regular lemons and cut up the lemons and put the lemons in their sock, and then it'll draw the fever. So if you don't have essential oil available, just cut the lemon in slices. Onion works too, but it's stinky. So my kids didn't always like the onions in their socks. Mom, not those onions again, ew. So that's helpful. Basil essential oil is really, really good for ear infections. You can put it in a carrier oil and massage it on the out. You don't use it in the ear, but you can massage it on the outside of the ear, and that can help soothe a ear infection. So those are some little tips that you can use for those types of things. But I definitely recommend if you're interested in using essential oils, just go on Amazon and look for a DIY essential oil or essential oil guide, and you can find some really good books there. And there's some that I've listed already in the back that I have that I use. So, and sometimes it's just doing an internet search for I want to make some. Okay, what am I going to make? And you put in linen spray. You can find a bunch of different recipes. It's a bunch of different combinations, and just kind of whatever makes you happy about making them. So, and then you can always buy things that are pre-made. So you can always look on, some of the websites have things that are pre-made that you can buy, but it's a lot cheaper to make your own because one bottle of concentrate goes a really long way. So,
How long can you keep an open bottle?
of essential oil, they don't go bad. The pure essential oils that aren't mixed with aren't used with solvents or anything like that, they don't go bad. The only way they would is if they were in the sun too long and sometimes they'll evaporate, or if water gets in there, then you could get the mold. But they generally don't go bad. I don't even think quite big. Yeah. So this one they have to use FGA. This is 2023. So I think they'll put 5 years on there, but it will last forever. In a dark place. That's one of the reasons why they're in the dark bottle too, because they'll oxidize and evaporate. So, all right. Any questions? Yes.
I get restless legs at night. I need aromatherapy.
Lavender, cedarwood, the sleeping one does. You could do a bath with Epsom salts, because magnesium, mineral deficiency is usually the cause of restless legs. So if you can do a magnesium bath with Epsom salts, because Epsom salts is magnesium, along with some cedarwood and some lavender, that could be really soothing to help with that before bed, because it calms everything down. And then a magnesium supplement or mineral supplement would be helpful too, to do that. Yeah. So, any other questions about essential oils specifically? And I'll show you how you test for them. Colleen, can you do me a favor and grab the Vibrant Oils essential oil test kit that we have hiding somewhere in the back? Is it back there? There's an essential oil test kit, and then a regular test kit. And it's like our regular test kits, but it has the vials, but it's the essential oil vials. I think it's stuck in the back of room 7. I think. I haven't used it in a while. And then a regular test kit. So how I figure out usually what essential oils will work best on a specific person, because everything we do here is individualized, and I don't usually make generalized statements about anything, so we test everything, is we do something called nutrition response testing. How many people are familiar with nutrition response testing? A couple of you. Okay, good. Yeah, you got to do it patient. Yeah, so nutrition response testing is a non-invasive way of testing the body for nutritional deficiencies, imbalances, to see if you have bacteria, viruses, fungus, yeast, any type of issue going on, food sensitivities. It's basically like allergy testing without the invasive allergy testing part. So we're able to find out what's going on in your body without having to do blood work, without having to do any kind of invasive testing. Yeah, yes. Awesome, thank you. So, for example, what I do is I test specifically for imbalances. So say if I was going to look for, so someone was coming as a patient for a while, and they said, hey Sarah, I want to use essential oils, but are there any that I should use or shouldn't use? So I can test for sensitivity. So I have an essential oil box that has all the main essential oils in them in a diluted form. So what I would do is just, you want to come and help me for a second? All right, so we're going to have demonstration here. So I'm going to have you, so muscle testing looks like this. So muscle testing is, if you think of someone who has hypothermia, they come out of the cold water, fingers and toes and arms and legs are numb because all the energy, blood flow, and circulation is going to rush out of the expendable extremities to protect the organs as long as possible to keep you alive. So standing here, you're not under stress. So she's not under stress. If I push her on her arm, she can resist me because she has strength in her arm. But say there was something going on with her heart, and I went to push on her heart and her arm at the same time, her arm would actually collapse because all the energy, blood flow, and circulation is going to rush out of the arm to protect that heart. Just like if you touch a hot stove, you don't have to think about you touching that hot stove and say, oh, that's hot, I probably should move now, right? What does your body do? Woo, automatic, right? It's the autonomic nervous system. Your nervous system talking for you, saying, hey, you better move, you're going to get burned, right? So that is how the body works. It's how we test the body for any kind of stress. It's very effective, and it's been used for decades. It's even used by medical doctors. NASA actually uses it, which is kind of cool. So one of the things I would do is say, okay, let's see if you like lavender. So in these, relax your arm for a second. So in these vials are liquid representations of what they say. This would be lavender essential oil. We're testing for food sensitivities. We have vials that have food sensitivities or food issues in them, foods, immune system. We test for metals and chemicals. So instead of doing an allergist version of a scratch test or a patch test, which is invasive, we do a muscle test, which is a physics-based biochemical test. It's basically biofeedback from the body. You're getting the same results without the annoying scratches and the patches. That's why we have lots of kids in our program, because they like this much better. There's no, scratches and patches or weird, allergy things. So what I would do is I would just take the lavender essential oil vial and I would put this in. I would have her hold it in her hand, and I would test her arm. If she stayed strong, then lavender essential oil would be something that her body would be okay with. She wouldn't have sensitivity to it. She could use it in her house and it would be fine. Now let's say,
Just by holding it?
yeah, and I'll explain how that works in a second. So here's a blend Specifically, it's called prostate support. I'm gonna use it to test the next, she's not gonna test for prostate support blood. I'm gonna show you I hope not. I'm gonna show you what it looks like if she tests, if something tests negatively. So I'm gonna have you hold this in your hand. And you can see, she doesn't test well, her arm goes weak. So her nervous system is responding to what's in this file. Thank you very much. So how that works is, think of somebody, yourself, standing in front of that window in the middle of the day when the sun is streaming through. So the sun is 90 billion miles away, correct? It's far away. But if you're standing there and the sun's coming through, can you feel the sun coming through the window? Can you feel the heat? Well, how come? The sun's so far away. How come you can feel it? It's the energy from the sun that you're actually feeling. You're not feeling the actual sun. You're feeling the energy, the radiation that the sun is giving off. Well, everything in life has about 2 feet worth of energy. So if I were to put this small little essential oil bottle in the middle of the floor, all by yourself, bless you, and go around it with an energy reading meter, if I got within 2 feet of this bottle, that meter would start going off. Because there's energy in everything. It's all physics. So I want you to think for a minute about a tuning fork. If you have a tuning fork, if you're standing, I'm standing here with a tuning fork, and say Barbara's on that side of the room with a tuning fork. I flick mine, she just holds hers up and doesn't touch it. What happens? Sound waves that are invisible travel across the room, and that tuning fork sound is going to match this tuning fork, right? It's physics. It's the coolest thing ever. Physics is awesome. Do you, Colleen, can you find the little energy stick? I think it's in the kitchen. Here. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. So when I don't use it, I always forget it. I might have taken it to Des Moines too. I use that as an experiment there. So how we're testing is all, if you think of frequencies, so people think, oh, energy is like woo-woo, witchy energy. This is all frequencies, it's sound waves, energy waves. So if people are coming in to be tested and they have a food sensitivity, say they have a wheat sensitivity, for example, I put the wheat vial on their body, they hold the wheat vial. If the arm responds, it's because the frequency of that wheat vial matches a sensitivity frequency that they have, and they match up. If they don't match up, they miss each other, and get no response. So it's very easy to be able to find out very quickly, within 30 seconds or so, what people have sensitivities to. And people will bring in their allergy tests, or I'm a functional medicine practitioner too, so I read blood work and all that. They'll bring in all those functional tests. I'll do all my testing first, and then when I'm putting the report of findings together, then I look at all their testing, and it always matches up. And we usually find things more than they will. So people they're coming in, they're saying, I'm having a hypothyroid symptom, but my doctor says my blood work's fine. That's because you're not in the range that they put you in, right? You're not in their blood range, but you have a problem with your thyroid. We find the problem, it's called subclinical hypothyroidism. We can find that and give you nutritional correction because you're not a candidate for medication yet. You haven't gone that far, but maybe you're a little more sensitive than the person sitting next to you, and you're having the thyroid symptoms, and they're not. And they're on their their blood work range, but you're like, I have, my blood work's fine, but I'm all, I'm having hot flashes and all these things. I'm hypothyroid, I know it, my doctor says I'm fine. Well, you're not fine. There's just, you don't fit in their little box, right? But what they keep doing with the ranges is they keep making them, they keep changing the ranges so that you have to be sicker and sicker in order to make your ranges. So it's a problem. You don't have it? I think I took it to Des Moines. It's fine. So that's basically what we do. What we do is we look for food sensitivities, immune system challenges, metal, chemical, mold toxicity, all of those things. And then we look for the nutritional corrections that make the corrections to your nervous system, and then allow your body to be able to heal itself. So it seems very basic, and it actually is, and it's very simple, and that's what we do. So we've been doing that. I have over 4,000 patients in 2 states. People fly from all over the world. I have a patient who comes from Austria. She's going to visit a friend who comes from the season. I have people who drive from Texas, from Ohio, people from all over. There's about 1,000 people in the United States who do specifically what I do in all different states. And my 2 offices are here in Iowa right now. So that's what we do. So we do always offer a discount to all of our people who come to our workshops. Normally it's $200 as a new patient to come in. And for workshop attendees and referral, people who are referred in, it's 50% off, so it's $100. That includes... Is there insurance coverage? It depends. We don't take insurance specifically. We take FSA, HSA, Some insurance companies do reimburse nutrition, so you just ask your insurance company if they reimburse for nutritional counseling from a nutritionist. And sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, sometimes they say, oh, I'll recover for 10 visits. It just depends on your insurance carrier. About 80% of our patients do get coverage somehow by their carrier. So the initial consultation that we do covers your initial consultation, all the testing, 2 different heart tests. Something called a heart rate variability test, and that is a whole nervous system test. And then a heart sound recording test, which is specifically a cardiovascular heart test. So we're looking for heart issues. We're looking for deficiencies and imbalances nutritionally, and we're also looking for future problems that could happen, like valves that don't open and close. We're looking for blockages. Yeah, it's really good. We've been able to kind of ward off a lot of different things, and a lot of things are corrected by nutrition. The heart eats first, so it actually steals nutrition from the rest of the body, and it says it's fine, but it's not. It's just stealing it from your adrenals, and you're exhausted all the time because your heart's like, okay, I'm going to steal all your vitamin B, and I'm going to hoard it, and I'm not going to give it back to the adrenals. So, and vitamin C and B it likes to steal. Lots of different things. So it includes those 2 tests, along with the nutrition response testing, and the report of findings for the results. So it's about an hour and a half, 2 hours for that visit, and then we kind of go from there. So that's what we do. If you would like to book an appointment, we do offer that discount. Colleen's here to help set people for visits if they want to do that. And so we help you. People will bring in their essential oils. We do all the testing. I don't have every essential oil in this box. So people will bring in their blends. Some people really love this one, the Clary Calm for menopause and monthly type of things. And people will bring in other brands, and we test. People bring in their other supplements. We test those. So it just depends what you have going on. So that's basically what we do. Does anyone have any questions about that? So you have a packet of information there. You feel free to take that home with you. It has a little bit more information on what we do, some brochures on nutrition response testing, design clinical nutrition, and a little sugar quiz for you. We do have some upcoming workshops. Keep an eye on our Facebook page because we list all the workshops there. We have a few more coming up this month. Next Tuesday night, we're doing digestion and gut health, which is always super popular. The week after that, we're doing emotional and mental health. And then the week after that, we're doing a soap making make and take workshop. Normally our workshops are free. That one is a $10 materials fee just because you're gonna make your own soap, and you're gonna put essential oils in it and all of that. So we do have that on the last Tuesday of the month. And then we have a few coming up next month that we're gonna be publishing as well. So we usually do, we took a little break over the summer, the beginning of the summer, we took a couple months off, and now we're gonna be doing them, and they're usually on Tuesday evenings. And it's myself and my other practitioners who we kind of rotate through. So, and you can bring a friend, and kind of go from there. And then we just close, once we hit 40, then we close the sign up sheet off. Okay, so, all right, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass it. Colleen, you wanna help us these out? Not that one, because that's not. Yes. On page 2. So if you want to pass out those, and then I guess pass out those. Everyone gets no, one total. Yeah, so pass those out first, and then get some. Well, enough for everyone. Alright, any questions while we're passing this out? Did everyone have a chance to sign in? No. Okay, we'll wait till you get that. Okay, and then I do have some of my clinician cards up here, so if you want to grab that, and if you want to get a free, one of the free stage magazines for the recipes and the information, this is awesome. Feel free to take one of those. And there are all snacks in the back. Feel free to take a plate to go if you didn't eat already. Yes, there is for me. Alright, so I hope you learned a lot tonight. And if you have any questions, just let me know. You can always take a card and email the office if you have additional questions. And hopefully we'll see some of you back next Tuesday for our digestive workshop. Have an awesome night, and I will see you again soon.
What time is that class?
6:45. Yeah. It should all be around 6:45. All right.